Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Today is episode 35 of the Deal Desk, where you submit your leads. If I'm getting a lot of questions, by the way, where you submit leads, you can go to www.thereitoolbox.com. You fill out the questionnaire in there, fill out the leads information, and then you just tune into the channel and I'll call them live, okay? If you're on Clubhouse, welcome. You can also watch me live on YouTube, okay? So let's get started. The rules are, if you're new to this, welcome. I'm going through all the leads that are submitted. I'll call them twice. If they don't answer by the second time, I'm going to keep it moving, okay? All right, so last week we left off, let's see here. Last week, we have a lot of leads. Last week we left off in St. Petersburg, Florida. The next lead is in Tampa, Florida, okay? And then if you're watching a YouTube channel, I'm going to pull up the property photo, and I'll just go over the description as I go on. But anyways, let's call these. I'm using Google Voice to call. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and dial this person right now. Let's see what happens. 5, 6, okay. So this person didn't get price. I'm put on speaker as loud as I can. Didn't get price yet. This is a lot, residential vacant land. Any other details we should know? Not really. Okay, another lot. Let me pull this up here and I'll go ahead and share the screen. If you're tuning in on YouTube, I'll call one more time if they don't pick up the phone. Otherwise, I'll just move on to the next one. All right, I'm going to hang up and call back. All right, hang up, call back. Remember, when it comes to land, it's really easy to comp. You know, you just look at obviously the square footage of the lot, the zoning. If there's any new construction in the area, it's got to be similar zoning, similar area, similar square footage is very important. And then you're going to click on the transaction history for that new construction and see what the builder bought it for previously. And you just want to stay underneath what they bought it for, as long as it's similar. Let's call them one more time. If not, we're going to move on to the next one, which is in Arkansas. So let's call this person back one more time. I don't know if you guys are watching last week. We got some interesting sellers. I think the highlight was the couple that wanted to move into a nudist neighborhood, which I'm not very familiar with that. But you get all kinds of people, all kinds of sellers. Those properties are very hard to comp, by the way. If you've ever done a deal in a nudist area, let me know. I'd love to connect you with those sellers, okay? Anyways, I'm calling this lot. Looks like they're not going to pick up the phone. If not, I'm going to move on to Arkansas. Okay? All right, so they're not picking up. Let's hang up. Let's see what we got going on. Next one is in Arkansas. They're asking $180,000. Don't know if that's a good or bad price yet. Let's go ahead and give them a call. And, sometimes when you're calling people and you have a different area code, they may be a little bit skeptical. And sometimes they'll ask you up front, hey, do you even live in Arkansas? Actually, I don't. My partner does work in that area. I live in Tampa. Our headquarters are based in Tampa, but we partner up with people all across the country, and we have partners in your backyard, That way you don't want to lie to them. Obviously, you don't want to do that, but you want to let them know, the worst thing you can do, I've seen people lie and say, oh, yeah, I live over there. Okay, what's your office address? Sellers that are skeptical and they have their guard up, they will ask you a little bit more information about the property. Okay, so anyways, this person's asking, hello? Mr. Cobb.
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Steven. I believe you spoke with my partner in regards to your property on Carnelian Drive. Were you still interested in selling that property?
Yes, but so far I haven't received any offer that was anywhere near what I want.
Ah, okay. Perfect. Well, I'd love to make you an offer. Did I catch it a good time?
No, go ahead.
Okay, great. So my process is actually very simple. I just want to start off by asking a few more questions other than what I see in the notes. And it takes about 7 minutes. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Perfect. And before I get started, I let everybody know this up front. I'm a straight shooter. We may not always be the best fit because we are investors, but if we're not, we do have a team of agents just in case. That way I don't want to waste your time, okay?
Go ahead.
Perfect. So I'm looking here in the notes. It says repairs, nothing major, just some paint, fair condition, HVAC roof about 4 or 5 years ago. Can you tell me a little bit more specifically about the interior, such as the bathrooms, kitchen, electric, plumbing, those kinds of things?
Oh, they're all pretty good.
Okay.
It's a nice house. It's a nice house, and everything's pretty good.
Okay, perfect.
Good.
And the bathrooms and kitchen, have they been updated recently, or are they just in fair shape?
No, they're just in
This
fair
guy sounds
shape.
familiar. I think it's a duplicate. Okay, just in fair shape. And any issues with like the electric or plumbing?
No.
Okay, perfect. And you currently live in the property, or is the tenant occupied?
I'm the only person here.
Okay, got it. It seems like a decent property. What's got you interested in selling?
None of your business.
None of my business? Okay. Well, if you got a cash offer that made sense, what kind of time frame were you looking to sell? About a week, a month, a couple months?
I thought you said you had an offer for me.
Yeah, I just trying to get a better understanding of what, how we can help you, because every seller I speak with is a little bit different situation. So I want to make sure I move at your pace. Sometimes people call and they want to rush the process, but
it would depend. If we strike a deal, then I would be a real aggressive in finding myself a place to live.
okay,
I've got some places in mind.
perfect. Okay, great. So while I'm looking around here, I'm looking at some similar properties in the area. Did you have any ideas to, what you think it might be worth, or what you're looking to at least sell for? I think I spoke with this guy. He wants 180.
180,000 to me.
We'd be at like 120. 180,000?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, 180,000. Let me take a look at the area here.
I tried to find a house for sale in the area yesterday. Couldn't find any.
You're looking for a house for sale to move into?
Beg your pardon? No, I just wanted to find out the value of the area.
Yeah, and prices.
I wanted to find a house similar. I wanted to find a house similar and find out what they're selling for.
Perfect. So, I'm looking here in the area. Renovated, updated, they're selling for about, between 220 to 260 is what I'm seeing on the market. And as is condition, just in good shape, they're selling between, I see one here, between 108 to 130,000 is what I'm seeing here. And as is condition. I spoke with this guy. So I think somebody submitted this lead twice, but check this out. So this guy, he's a little older. You got to be more patient. You got to speak up a little bit. He's asking 180,000. But anytime you discuss like the prices in the area, he gets upset. He just hangs up the phone, right? So for somebody like that, I think he's actually asking a pretty decent price as far as a cash offer. Let me take a look here. They are selling. We would have to be around 120, 130, depending on the condition. But this is the guy that he got upset last time. Now remember, whenever you anchor price or you give prices, this is common. You got to expect people to hang up the phone, right? But this is why you got to set up clear expectations at the beginning. If they hang up, you call them back. Hey, I'm sorry we get disconnected. They're going to curse you out, whatever. Hey, I'm not saying that's what I was going to pay you. But, I'm just giving facts of the neighborhood. This is definitely a duplicate. This guy was not open to anything, you know, and I'm not gonna keep calling him back and calling him back. I'll call him back one more time. The last time he did this, okay, he was really upset, okay, but he probably thinks I'm a brand new person. I didn't realize I was calling the same guy. It looks extremely familiar. Let me call him back. Let me call him back. I'm either gonna get cursed out or he's gonna go with the flow. Let's see what happens. All right, let's call this guy back. What's his name? Mr. Cobb. Okay, so let's call Mr. Cobb back. Let's see how angry he's going to be at me, because last time he was pretty angry. Don't ever take this stuff personally. This is just the name of the game. You got to embrace rejection, accept that stuff. Some people are scared to make these kind of calls because they're scared they'll get mad. What's the worst thing that can happen? You know, they call you bad names and they hang up on you. Keep calling him back. I'm only going to call him back one more time. Okay, I'm not going to keep calling and calling and calling. And then I'll move on to the next lead.
Leave your number. Call.
Okay, so this lead, who submitted this lead? This is Mr. Cobb in Arkansas. Okay, Kyra, you submitted this lead. I think this gentleman, if you can get him back on the phone, hit him from a different angle, I think it would actually be a pretty decent listing. So you do want to connect with an investor-friendly agent in that market. He's asking a great price. He seems a little bit like he's guarded up. None of your business, you know, where I'm moving to or like what time frame, you know. And then you just want to say, okay, no problem, and just keep moving on. But anyways, 180 is actually a decent price. His house is a corner lot. It is a 3.2, 1931 square feet. There are some photos on here on PropStream. Obviously, I can't show you guys because I don't want to disclose the address when you submit the leads. But it seems like it's in good shape. But you got to be patient with this guy and just keep calling him back. Not back to back to back, but, you know, call back every week. Okay, so enough of Mr. Cobb. Let's move on to the next person. Let's see. We are going to Jacksonville, Florida. All right. So this person's asking $40,000. Okay, let me call the number. I wonder if it's a lot. Give me 1 second. I'm going to dial this number. All right. So who's this? Mr. Stevens. Jacksonville, Florida.
Your call has been forwarded to a
house belonged to her mother. It's stated. Oh. Is this the right number? Let me make sure I dial the right number. Okay. No, it is the correct number. It's either off or disconnected.
A call has been forwarded to an
yeah, so it looks like it's off or disconnected. Who submitted this lead? Let me take a look real quick. I think they're asking a pretty decent price for this area. Some of these leads you guys submit, like they're already within the range of what your offer should be. It takes a matter of following up with people. And if you can't get a hold of them on the phone, you could skip trace a family member, relative. If they're in your market, leave a sticky note on their door, right? You want to get creative with this stuff. So this lead right here, Christy, you submitted this lead. I would try hitting this lead from a different angle, okay? Let me pull this up for you real quick, and I'll let you know if this is I think that asking price is pretty low. Sounds like a probate lead. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, they're definitely within the range, okay? So make sure you call that lead back. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's see what else we got here. So that was in Jacksonville. We're moving on to Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York. Let's give him a call. Brooklyn, New York. All right. Let's see. Brooklyn won't give a price. Wants to hear an offer. What repairs are needed? Owner won't say. Hello?
Hello?
Miss Donis? Is this Miss Donis?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Steven. I think you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Saratoga Avenue. Were you still interested in selling?
I don't know anything about that property. You gotta talk to my husband, and he's not home.
Okay. Is there a better time my partner can give him a call back?
Like another hour, he should be home.
Okay. I'll let my partner know. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. So obviously you want to talk to the main decision maker and make sure you caught him at a good time. You know, these properties Northeast, most of them are row homes, pretty easy to comp, obviously higher price points. Make sure you stay on top of these. These usually are bigger spreads, you know, if the deal makes sense, okay? All right, so that one was in Brooklyn. Let's call Atlanta, Georgia. Is this the same name? No, it's not. Okay. All right, so let's call this one Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta is one of those markets where there's just so much opportunity, right? There's a lot of opportunities. Atlanta is a great market. Let's call this one right here. What's their name? Okay. Mr. Brown in Atlanta, Georgia.
Message.
Let's call back one more time. If not, we're going to move on to the next one in Greenville, Georgia. Let's call this one back one more time. I noticed a lot of these, when they're submitted, the sellers don't have an asking price, and that's normal. A lot of sellers are going to want you to, you know, give out a number first. But this is why I always say don't give an exact offer, give an offer range, okay? All right, so this one, Atlanta, he said the house was appraised for $146. But he didn't give me his number by himself. What repairs are needed, 1 through 5? He said his house is a 4. He repaired the roof, the gutters, the inside, fair condition. He wants to sell in 30 days because he has tenants. What's the reason for selling? I didn't get that. He sounds like an old man, but due to my nervousness, I forgot a few questions. That's okay.
Please leave your message for.
Okay, so this person didn't pick up the phone. We're going to move on to the next one. Remember, when typically people, and this isn't the case all the time, but typically when people want an appraisal, they're already okay with spending some money to try to see what the value's worth. And typically those people like that, they're going to want a higher price. Now, just because they got an appraisal doesn't mean that it's not a deal, right? Because I get some people that they know no better besides to look at this estimate. They want that or a little bit above that, or maybe even a few $1,000s below that. And when you go through the script, you talk to them, you figure out their motivation, they will drop a lot. And everybody's different. It's really numbers game, right? But make sure you follow up with this lead. And anytime somebody doesn't give you a number, you can give a range first, okay? You can always give a range first. That's okay. All right. So let's see here. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is in, let's see, we called that one. The next one is in Greenville. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome. I know we got some people popping them in on Clubhouse. If you're on the YouTube channel, welcome. You can see me pull up the properties and see what the properties looks like on my YouTube. And let's keep it going. So we're going to call in Greenville, Georgia now. So far, not too much action. We had an angry old man, right? As soon as I said what the houses are settling for, the guy hung up. And I called him back. He didn't answer the phone. So make sure whoever submitted that lead, just call them back within a week. With older people, you got to be a little bit more patient because remember, you're not the only person they're talking to. And, you know, you got to make sure that they feel comfortable with you. Okay? And that they're not getting taken advantage of. So always set the proper expectations in the very beginning. Make sure you do business ethically. But if they get insulted by the price range or the price, you know, don't get discouraged. It's not you, it's them. Hello, Mr. Stanley?
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Steven. I believe you spoke with my partner a while back. in regards to a property over there on Roosevelt Highway you might be looking to sell. Were you still looking to sell?
I will.
Okay. Yeah, I actually wanted to call you to see what I can offer you. Did I catch it a good time?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Perfect. So my process is actually very simple. I just want to ask you a few more questions other than what I see in the notes. And that way I can go and evaluate the area right here on the computer, see what I can offer you. It takes about 7 minutes. Is that okay?
I'm listening.
Perfect. And before I get started, I let everybody know this up front. You know, I am an investor, so I may not always be the best fit, but if I'm not a good fit, I'll let you know up front so I don't waste your time.
I can probably save you and me sometime. You know, I'm not interested in giving the property away. I don't really have I ain't no for sale sign on it.
Okay.
I have an apartment. I have somebody in we you know, I'm about to take my partner off there in the property with.
Okay.
And I'm not, you know, I'm just not into giving it away.
Yeah, no problem.
Property is up now. I could take an acre and build on it and make a lot more. You know what I mean? And the house is rehabable. And I already know I can sell a house for $80,000 and $90,000. I can put about $15,000-$20,000 in the house. I've worked on these things myself.
So this guy is already telling me he's not afraid to put more money into it. I want to get a little bit more information out of him. He doesn't seem too motivated, but he seems open to it. Surprisingly, in this area, that's even too high.
They can just go ahead on about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm selling it for $40,000. That's too cheap.
You're looking to sell for $40,000?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you got that $40,000, I mean, what kind of time frame would you be ready to move forward? Like a week, a month, a couple months? Dang, $40,000 is too high. What was that?
I didn't understand what you said.
Oh, I was saying if you got that offer that you wanted, what kind of time frame were you looking to sell? About a week, a month, or a couple months?
About a month.
About a month? Okay.
I'm finishing up another house that I already have, and that was my next project. I'm going down there and start the rehab. I already got the material for the house. I got windows, all the stuff to go to the house.
Yeah.
I already had the stuff to start rehabbing the house.
Oh, you already started on it?
Huh?
You said you already started on it?
I said I'm gonna start. I already got the materials to start to rehab the house.
Oh, okay. And I see some pictures here on Zillow. Are these recent?
I don't know when you took. I hadn't did it until the property since I bought it.
Okay.
And so I'm already about to put a
Man, this house is beat up.
Brand new windows in.
Beat up.
You know,
It's crazy. The ARV's like $45,000. He's asking $50,000. So obviously he's not afraid to do the work himself. But let me see if I can get him. I want to ask him one more time and see what the best price he can do. Otherwise, I'm just going to redirect him to a listing, but that's not going to make sense if he's trying to rehab it himself.
I'm not in a hurry to sell it when I already got material that I could go down.
He already got the material to rehab the house. He might be a cash buyer. So, yeah, that makes sense. And I think you're actually asking a decent price. You know, that's more or less what they're selling for in the area. Obviously, as an investor, I don't want to waste your time. We would be nowhere near that. But I want to ask you, you said you're about to start renovating the property. Are you do you flip a lot of properties in the area? Are you an active investor?
I just, I have property myself. That's what I do. I own a welding business, but I buy property.
You buy properties? Okay. And let me ask you this: he's probably not going to be open to listing because he's already going to start renovations. But let me ask him. Let me ask you this: if you in order to get that price range, is listing something you ever might be open to in order to get that price range? Listing the property on the open market, even in as-is condition?
I ain't That's the thing. I'm not in a hurry. I know I don't want to be.
Yeah, he's gonna flip the property. So what I'm gonna do is now capitalize on. Okay, you buy some properties, you renovate them. If I come across any more, I'd love to send some your way. You know. So this lead is not motivated to sell. He's already starting to renovate the property. He's not open to the listing. So if he's an active investor, you do want to add him to your cash buyers list. Otherwise, it's not a lead that you want to spend too much time on. Okay. So I'm gonna let him talk, and then I'm gonna ask him if he'd like some other properties in the area. If not, you want to keep him forward. It'd be a waste of time trying to convince this guy to sell this house.
I know people that got carpet. I put brand new carpet upstairs and bathroom in bad state. Do some tiling and stuff like that. Like I said, $15,000-$20,000. I'm done. It's a brand new house almost.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Hey, you know, like I said,
and put it on the market for, you know, ain't no 110.
Let me talk a little bit more.
Out there. So put it out there for 120 and see who bites.
Wow. Okay. And, you know, like I said, I didn't want to waste your time. But if I come across any other properties that need some updating, I mean, would you be interested in buying some properties in the area locally?
Yeah, cheap as shit. Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, I will let my partner know, and if we come across anything, we'll reach out back, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Reach back out. So obviously, this is a perfect example. So this guy, I don't know if you guys are just tuning in, he's actually he already started buying the materials for the house. If you're watching on YouTube right now with me, I'm showing the pictures of the property, okay? The ARV of this area is like $50,000. He thinks that he can list it for 120, which is way above full market value. I don't think anybody's going to buy it at that price. It's just too high. And obviously the listing thing's not going to work because he's not motivated. He's not in a rush. When you're calling these kinds of leads, you can't try to motivate somebody that's not motivated. It just doesn't work out. The best thing you can do is follow up with these kinds of people. Okay? So he's not motivated. He already has the materials. But what you do want to do with these kinds of leads, is you always want to ask him, hey, are you actively looking to buy more properties in the area? Because if you come across any properties in this zip code or the area, whatever, he's the guy that you got to call when you have a property under contract because he's not afraid to do the work. I don't know if he's going to make a profit if he lists at that price, but that's not our problem. Okay. He said he's an he'll actively buy because the properties are really cheap, which they really are. Just really unrealistic about the price, you know, and that's why anytime you guys present the listing option, you cannot and should not ever say, hey, you can list it for that price. That makes sense. You can list it. Never say that. Instead, what you want to do is say, hey, I think that's an interesting price range, or I think you can get that price range on the open market. Is listing something you're open to in order to get that price range? When you say price range, you don't commit to a number. You know what I mean? So if you ever refer your leads to agents and you tell the seller, yeah, you can get 120, and then you give it to the agent, that agent's going to look at you like you're crazy, right? Because that's a number that's just unrealistic. But anybody that wants full market value or above, always ask them if they're open to listing on the market. This is not a lead that's even interested in doing that, but good call. Good call. All right, so let's move on to the next one. That was in Greenville. We're moving on to Milwaukee. Okay. Let's call this person. You know, some people, it's very, very unrealistic about the price. But, you know, you can only do so much. You don't need to educate the person. Some people that make the mistake of trying to educate somebody that's just unrealistic and hopes you're just going to get a deal, and it doesn't work out that way. Okay, remember, this is a numbers game. If you guys are hitting the right list, right area, right zip codes, right markets, you're going to get somebody that wants to sell at a price that makes sense. But you don't want to waste your time with somebody trying to convince them, oh, yeah, I can do this. Like, spend the right amount of time on the right leads, okay? Anyways, we're calling this one in Wisconsin, okay? They're asking $60,000. Let's see if they pick up the phone.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Steven. I think you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on 35th Street. Were you still looking to sell?
Which property?
Let me see here. I'm gonna have to mute myself, guys. Hold on. Is that the one you were in? Okay. That's the one you were interested in selling or getting an offer on?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And did I catch you at a good time?
Excuse me?
Did I catch you at a good time?
Oh, yeah, I'm in the truck riding. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I actually want to call you and see what we can offer you. My process is actually very simple. Just want to ask you a few more questions other than what I see in the notes. That way I can really just, evaluate the property in the computer, see what I can offer you. And it takes about 7 minutes. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
All right, great. And before I get started, I like letting everybody know this up front. We are a real estate investment company. We don't buy every property we look at, but we do have a team of agents just in case we're not a good fit, okay? Perfect. So let me pull up the notes here. I see here the AC and has some updates, or the AC and some updates what they put in your notes. Kitchen's done 7 years ago. Roof is 5 years old. It's currently tenant occupied. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, currently tenant occupied.
They're moving out. I've been trying to get them out of there. So.
Oh, they're moving out. When are they expected to vacate the property?
Shit. I'm like, and it's COVID stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah. Are they aware you're looking to sell it, or you're trying to sell it?
Yeah, they're aware. They're aware of that.
Okay. Perfect. Let me pull this up here. And as far as are they good tenants? Do they pay on time, or do they give you a hard time?
Do. No, they never complain about anything or nothing like that. So they always pay.
Okay. Perfect. And were they on a month-to-month or annual lease?
Month to month.
All right. Perfect. All right. So other than I see here the bathroom's kitchen, about 7 years old. The roof and the AC, when were those last updated? Because I don't have very clear notes on that here.
Can you hold 1 second, please?
Sure. Street view doesn't show on Zillow. I do see the street view on Google. I'm not going to show because it shows the address, but it looks like a pretty decent house. 2-story wood frame. Doesn't look distressed. Actually looks like a brand new roof if these are recent. He told me hold on a second, so I'm just waiting for him. While we talk to him, we wait for him. We want to run the comps. According to the notes, whoever submitted this, it looks like he's asking $60,000. That price is not going to work. But I'm not holding him to that. Some people want a high price, and I don't care how much they're asking. I want to go through the process, but it looks like this area, ARV is between 70, 75, maybe even high 80. So even if somebody wants a full, market value price, that's okay. Because most people you speak with are going to want that price. Okay? They are going to want full market value. Now, I did notice he said he is trying to sell the property, but because of the COVID laws and stuff like that, it's not as easy as it once was. If I heard him correctly, he said that the tenants are good. Anytime a property has tenants, you can buy with the tenants in there depending on your cash buyers. Make sure they're good tenants. If the tenants give you a really hard time, you're going to have to go through a process of maybe compensating them to leave, which that's what works the best. Especially during these times, it's pretty hard to evict somebody. And in some areas, you can't even do it. Okay? Oh, you got disconnected. Let me call him right back. He said he was driving a truck. Let me call him right back. This is in Milwaukee. So let's call him right back. He seems pretty easy to speak with. $60,000 is just too much. We'd have to be at like 30,000. 30,000 is what I'm seeing here.
Hello. Okay.
I'm sorry, we get disconnected. Oh, he hung up on me. Looks like he's busy. Anyways, I'm not going to keep calling him back. We're going to move on to the next one. If you submitted this lead, make sure you approach this guy with the listing option in mind because he's already asking a higher price. I'm looking at the comps here. I see an anchor price of $18,000 and I see a max offer of $30,000. Okay, now remember, $18,000 is not your offer. A lot of people, like the other gentleman I spoke with earlier today, he hung up as soon as he heard that price. You cannot be afraid to call these people back because they have this pre-assumption of like, man, that's what your offer is every single time. And you're not going to be the only person they're speaking with, right? They're getting calls from other people. So if you name an anchor price, which is not your offer, and then they hang up the phone, call them right back. Okay, but what you don't want to do is just call them like 10 times in a row because that's like harassment, right? So just make sure you call them twice. If they don't pick up, text them, leave them voicemail, and then just wait. Otherwise, follow up in a couple of days, okay? Give them a little breathing room, okay? Anyways, moving on to the next one. Let's see what we got here. So that was in Wisconsin. Let's see what we got. So Wisconsin. Next one is in Virginia. Okay, this person asking $110,000. Let's give him a call. Some of these markets, the price points are just different, right? They're just different. So even markets like Baltimore, some parts of Baltimore are very block by block. Lower price markets, you're gonna find there's not so much spread. But the thing is, when you anchor price something, these lower price markets, it's such a low price that they may get offended immediately, and that's normal. Right? That's normal. Anchor pricing, again, it's not your offer. It's just a way to see how motivated is this person, right? Why do I anchor price? I anchor price to see what kind of reaction might I get. If you anchor price somebody and they kind of like the price range, now you know you're within the ballpark of getting the deal. If they hate it, now you know it's probably you have to move into giving a range, okay? So if you know me, you know that I don't give offers, I give ranges, okay? Ranges let the seller know where you'd be at without really showing your cards. It's all a negotiation game. Sellers know how much they want. They may not know what the house is worth, but they'll always know the least they're willing to take, okay?
Please leave your message for.
So let's call this person. Call one more time. This one is in Norfolk, Virginia. If this person doesn't answer, we're going back to Arkansas. We're going to Boston, Houston, Arizona, Sacramento, New Jersey. Hello?
Please leave your message.
No answer. Moving on to the next one. We are going to, let's see, Arkansas. Arkansas. I used to call it Arkansas, but it's really Arkansas. Okay. All right, so let's call this person. Okay. If you guys are wondering what I'm using for comps, I use PropStream. You can get a 7-day free trial on dealdeskdata.com. You can even pull up to 10,000 free records within that time frame. So whether you keep PropStream or not, take advantage of pulling those records.
This is Leroy Mayhem. We'll call with Bank of RP.
I think that's his voicemail. Let's call him back. This is, I am dialing the right number. The reason I always call twice is because if you're calling from a number that they're not familiar with, they may think it's like I don't know, like I'm selling a warranty or, you know, what do you get those timeshare things? You sound sleepy. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going to Boston, Massachusetts. I love Boston. All right, so let's call this one. This person last listed for $375,000.
Please leave your message.
Uh-oh. Hope you guys aren't submitting. Some of you guys are submitting leads on the MLS, which I don't pursue those unless the seller really asks me what my cash offer is. because there's already been so many
Please leave your
eyeballs
message.
not answering anyway. Please don't submit leads that are active on the MLS. Okay. Now, if it's a failed listing, that's fine. If you speak with somebody that has an active listing, but they still want a cash offer, that's fine too. But you don't want to really go after that. As an investor, you want to look for off-market properties. Okay. Houston, Texas. Another great market, Houston, Texas. So let's call this person. Give me 1 second. I have a lot of call recordings that were really good and start off bad and then ended up being a deal on my course. If you guys are interested in that, masterclosercourse.com. Oh,
Come on.
hello,
Come on.
Mr. Cuadros.
¿Qué pasó?
Hello.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Tú estás viendo? ¿Me oye?
Sí.
Yo estoy llamando para tu casa en Gillespie Street.
Sí. ¿Cuánto me va a dar?
¿Me entiende?
Sí. ¿Cuánto me da?
Yo quiero preguntarle una cosa para la casa. Hold on a second. Let me call him right back. Where was this at? This was in, I don't even pronounce that street name. He's ¿Qué pasó? That means what's up? What happened? What's up? Let me call him back. Call him back. Come on. Come on, man. Now go on the voice. Hold on. Let me call back. Let me see if he answers the phone. Usually was I don't even know if that was a guy. I don't know, maybe not. Call that guy back. He's asking 95 to 100,000. Okay. 95 to 100,000. If you guys ever have any Spanish speaking leads and you don't have anybody on your team that speaks Spanish, my team and I are bilingual, so we'd love to help you out if that's something you'd like to do. I'm just throwing that out there because some people, I think that's really important. This actually, he's asking a really good price. I'm looking at this area. ARV is around 200,000. This guy's asking 95 to 100,000. I'm assuming you haven't spoken to this person yet, or you haven't crossed the finish line because you may not be bilingual. I don't know. So who submitted this lead? They're asking 95 to 100 on inside, needs a full gut, complete rehab needed. He's motivated to sell. We'll sell ASAP. Man, that's a good deal. Okay. Who submitted this lead? Mr. Clemens, Devon, make sure you call this guy back. If you need help calling him with a Spanish speaker, you can reach out to me, shoot me DM. We will help you with that. But he's asking a really good price. 95 to 100. The ARV is around 200,000. That's already 50% ARV. It should be good. All right. Moving on to Arizona. He's like, I was kind of confused. Who's this guy talking about? He's like, abajo. All right. What was I saying? Usually when it comes to Spanish speakers, I don't let them know I speak Spanish up front because sometimes when you put them on hold and they have family members around them, they start talking to them in Spanish, and I already know what I'm walking into. It's happened a few times. It's given me an advantage. And then at the very end, I'll say, ¿Tú hablas español? Right? You speak Spanish? And like, oh, why didn't you tell me in the beginning? Oh, okay. Well, I was just talking, feeling you out, whatever. And then they laugh and whatever. But that's a good deal. Make sure you call them back. Let's call this next person. This is in Arizona. Arizona. All right. They are asking 120,000, decent lipstick cleanup. Let's see if they pick up the phone.
reached the voice.
Not answering. Let's try one more time. Okay. Let's try one more time. Always call twice. Oh. You know, if they also have a Google Voice or a business, it'll come up when you call them. It says his last name and then music. So that's also good to know. If you're using Google Voice and you're calling somebody else that has a Google Voice or they have a business, it's associated with that number, it'll actually show what their business name is on that, which you don't want to, you know, that'll actually let you know automatically what they're into. Okay, so let's call this guy back, see if he answers the phone. But that's a good way to start building rapport. You know, I get some questions like, hey, when should I build rapport? You don't really have that in the script, like build rapport here. You want to build rapport when you feel it's right. Remember, every conversation is different. A script is not meant to, you know, word for word robot. People can tell you sound non-genuine when you're reading the script word for word for word. Now, when you're practicing it, you want to get used to the flow, but what you really want to do is practice the script. Let's see if he answers.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail.
No. What you want to do is you want to practice a script so much where you kind of understand what the flow is like. You don't want to sound like a robot. Like I have already memorized the script I use. I know what I got to ask when I ask. But when it comes to rapport, a quick tip on rapport, I love building rapport in the beginning of the conversation, especially if I know what they're into. Like this guy, it says his last name and then music. He might own a music business. The other guy owns an auto body shop. Okay. But what I was saying was like building rapport is really easy without trying so hard. I don't want to sound like I'm really trying too hard and I'm having a conversation. Every conversation is different. A good way to build rapport is this. Try this tip on your next few calls or your team, okay? When you're building rapport, all right, when you have the seller's address, copy and paste that address to Google. You're going to find a nearby street or landmark. Ideally, look for a landmark first, okay? Hey, isn't this next to the Buck Stadium? Oh, yeah. If you have your calls recorded, you replay them, you can almost hear the sellers get excited for something so simple, but you found common ground with them. If they live in the middle of nowhere, name a nearby street that's connected with theirs. The whole point here is if you find a nearby landmark, whether it's a church, school, sports complex, and you say that, that's going to open the door to talk about whatever you want. Isn't that next to the Buck Stadium? Oh, yeah. Are you a Bucks fan? Man, they won the Super Bowl. Brady resigned. Blah, 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 blah. That conversation will lead to rapport automatically. You get what I'm saying? You're not even trying hard to build rapport. You don't want to try hard. Don't try to sound so robotic on a script. A script is meant as guidance points. You want to build rapport when you feel it's right. But do it in the beginning. Try that. Try that tip. All right. Let's call a few more. Let's see what we got. That was in Arizona. Let's call one in California. Was it like 9 a.m. over there or something? Or 9, almost 10 a.m.? All right, so let's call this person. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but I'll do my best. Let's see what happens here. Building rapport is always a lot more effective in the beginning of the conversation because the better you start off that conversation on a positive note, the rest of the conversation sounds smooth without even trying, okay? But you guys got to get a hold of the script, practice script. If you guys want a free cold call script. Oh, hello?
Yes.
Miss Komich?
Yes, how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Steve, and I think you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Hedge Avenue. Were you still looking to sell that property?
Where are you calling from?
I live in Tampa, but my partner lives in California, and they spoke with you, and they said you were interested in selling your property on Hedge Avenue. And I was just checking to see if you were still interested.
Probably you don't realize it's an industrial property, 14 acres. I don't think you realize where you're calling.
No, that's fine. We buy commercial, industrial, self-storage, residential. But I just want to check in to see if you were interested in selling this property. Otherwise, I didn't want to waste your time.
Yeah, we're not selling. We're selling the land, 7 acres,
Oh, okay.
but not the property.
Okay, perfect. Did I catch you at a good time?
I think someone called me, and they offered 200,000. That's a joke, you know.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. Probably wasn't us though.
So we're not selling for this price.
Right, and I'm
We
not.
got it for 2 million. We cannot sell it for 200.
Yeah, I don't know who gave you that offer. That's ridiculous. I'm not here to waste your time. I was just calling to see if you were interested in selling. So you're selling the land. The building have nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have any idea as to how much you were looking to sell the property for, or what you think it might be worth?
It'd be about 2.5 million.
2.5 million. Okay. 2.5 million. And are there any septic or utilities attached to the land at all, or just raw vacant land?
It's at the lot corner, the utilities.
It's about what? I'm sorry?
It's a big land. It's almost 7 acres. And it's connected to the from West Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
It has utilities at the corner.
Okay. So do you know if it has any septic or utilities attached to the land?
No, it's just land.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you're asking 2.5 million. So I'll speak with my partner. If that's a price we can do, did you have any idea as to how much, or I'm sorry, when you were looking to sell, whether, I don't know, it's like a week, a month, a couple months?
It depends on the price.
Okay.
It's not on the market right now, but our prices in California getting really, really high.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to give you a fair price and make sense. And if we're not a good fit, we also do have a team of agents that can assist you just in case. I know you said you're not actively looking to sell, but for that price, you would be, right?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Okay. I'll speak with my partner.
Depends on that land. That's the minimum we can sell it.
Okay. No problem. I'm going to speak with my partner to crunch some numbers, and then I'll have him give you a call back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Mhm.
So right off the bat, 2.5 million is already too high. The good thing about this, it's like a weird, I wish I could show you. It's like, it's like one side of the street is like commercial, and then the other side of the street is farm. And her lot, if you're looking at my YouTube channel right now, you can see how much land this is. I mean, this is a lot of land. So who submitted this lead? I think there might be something here. You got to crunch this. So William Glover, you submitted this lead. You have to analyze this a little bit more, because when it comes to this could be a good play for a commercial investor to build something, because they have a long strip. It's weird to describe. I can't show you guys the address, obviously, but it's like a sideways L, right? It's like a sideways L, and that whole strip and the end of the L is all land. But on one side, close to the top of the L, there's all these commercial properties, but on the bottom, it's like nothing. So it's like a really funky property. 2.5 million. I don't know about all that. It looks like I can see they bought it for 1.8 back in 2019. I mean, the estimated value is kind of like a Zestimate. It says $601,000. Okay. But what I would do if I were you is I would actually call the next door building and ask them if they're looking to expand their building or their operations. Like this one, for example, the one next door is Lawn and Garden. You got Metal Corporation. This is like an industrial area. American Building Supply, the Growing Company. It's just a bunch of stuff. But sometimes these buildings, the owners of these warehouses or the business, they're looking to add on to their business. So they may be more than happy to buy that strip of land. But we got to get a price out of those people before we can make a solid offer. You know what I mean? So things like this is stuff that a lot of people pass up. Oh, there's not a deal, not a deal, not a deal. And I'm not saying squeeze something out of nothing, but if there's a lot of activity on one side and there's nothing on the other side, it could be hit or miss. But make sure you contact the commercial businesses around. Okay. If you're on Clubhouse, go ahead and raise your hand. If you have any questions, I'll bring you up. If you're on YouTube, hopefully you guys enjoyed today. If you want a 7-day free trial prop stream, go to www.dealdeskdata.com. I do this every Friday at 12 p.m. EST. If you want to submit your leads for me to call, let me pull up the banner here. Give me 1 second. What you want to do, and I don't have the link in my bio right now because right now I'm promoting a charity boxing event on my Instagram. So I don't have this link on my bio right now. But if you guys want to submit your leads or see what resources I use in my business, you can go to the www.thereitoolbox.com. There'll be a section there where you could submit your leads, okay? You have to fill out the form. No listings on the MLS. You already have to have spoken with the lead. It's got to be warm to hot, okay? So you can submit your leads on that, all right? The reitoolbox.com. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up on YouTube. If you guys are on Clubhouse, raise your hand. I'll do a quick Q&A, nothing crazy. Let me wrap this up on YouTube. I'll see you guys next